Hola chicas, your seasoned sis here with a trip into the Wayback Machine that I am calling He and Ms. Jones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. This podcast is the audio version of a 2014 personal journal entry. I have woven in some new insights, randomness, and tangents. I'm bracing myself for the scripture police to throw Old and New Testament verses at me like this. Psalms 105:15 and 1 Chronicles 16:22, both of which state, saying, "Touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm." It's essential to understand the context of these verses. They refer to God's protection of his chosen people, particularly the patriarchs and prophets of the Old Testament. What I am about to share may incur the wrath of church adjutants and armor bearers everywhere. Security! I rediscovered this entry when reading through one of my multitudinous journals. October 11, 2014. I have been thinking about Loretta from Preachers of LA. Why did I allow myself to get caught up in this soap opera reality show? Part of me empathizes with her because she is in denial about Bishop Noel Jones. She wants to get married to him, but around others, she acts like she is okay with a 16-year friendship. She needs to admit to herself that he is not going to marry her. With an elaborately planned party, she tries to manipulate a proposal from him. All she got was disappointed. I wonder how many times she has been let down. As for Bishop Noel Jones, he is just wrong. He knows Loretta loves him and wants to be his wife. He also knows that is not what he wants. To quote Bob Marley, the biggest coward is a man who awakens a woman's love without the intention of loving her. Bob did not live up to that quote. No RE, but I digress. That is just what Bishop Noel Jones did. No integrity. If I were a member of his church, I would hold up my church finger. People hold up their index finger when they need to excuse themselves during the service, especially when the preacher is preaching. I couldn't sit under his ministry without giving him the side eye. Since he knows he can't give her what she wants, he needs to leave her alone. Sell his shares of the business they have together, or let her buy him out. It seems like he is too weak to do it. She needs to stop threatening to and just bounce. He continues to toy with her heart because he knows he can. He can call her and she comes running. Bishop Ron and Lady Livette, another preacher of LA, and his wife, their approach was wrong, but they called it right as incorrect. Somebody needed to strike the match. This takes me back to my relationship with Raekwon, I'll call him. It didn't take me 16 years to realize that I desperately wanted him to be the one, but he did not want to be the one. The fact is that the relationship, and I use the term loosely, was never defined. I had to ask him what it was when he should have been telling me. He told me that he loved me. To me, that meant he was leaning towards permanence. One should never tell the person they are dating that they love them unless it will lead to marriage, states Elizabeth Elliot, Christian missionary, author, and speaker. I kept hope alive for this person for 3 to 4 years. What does that say about me? I realized that Raekwon was not going to make me his wife. That was a catalyst for moving out of state. It was confirmed in yet another way that I had nothing to stay for. When I saw him as a pallbearer at a funeral years later, I thought, he looks good. I wasn't sure that there weren't still residual feelings for him. I wanted to see him and talk to him, but I didn't. I really had it bad for him in a way that was no good for me. I wonder if he even knew I was there. I believe it didn't take long for him to move on. Not sure, but I think he may have a child and move to a larger city in the state. My moving on was embracing or coming to grips with the fact that marriage was not going to happen for Raquan and I. I didn't need a girlfriend to tell me, he ain't that into you. I wonder where Loretta's girlfriends were. Perhaps she only shared tidbits of her relationship with them. Select morsels. Or if one of them just came out and said it, she may have dismissed any unsupportive comment immediately. Flash forward to January 30th, 2022. Okay, I was proven wrong 8 years later. Bishop Jones formally proposed to Loretta at his birthday celebration in front of the congregation. The proposal was posted on YouTube for the world to see. Link in the description. The congregation was delighted. Some folks on social media, not so much. There were many comments on the actual proposal post and those on new posts generated by other YouTubers. Head scratching accompanies the post that did not apply to the couple getting engaged after only 20 plus years. Some of those years in their relationship were off, then on again. There have been reports about who Bishop Jones dated during those off times. I could find no information about who Loretta was involved with during the off times or if she had ever been married. I did see a video of her dancing with her son at maybe his wedding. Her Instagram shows her fashions, cooking, businesses, and Bishop Noel Jones. I am sure that an invitation to their nuptials was coveted by many. This extravaganza, linked in the description, probably fulfilled every fantasy Lady Loretta ever had. Their huge wedding party even included doggy bridesmaids and swans. My question is why someone as beautiful and as accomplished as Loretta set her heart on this particular man. There's a 20-year age difference between them. Comments that Bishop Jones himself made about needing someone to care for him in his old age made him less of a catch for many women. Yet he was and is her prize. His status and position perhaps may be the answer to my question. Further research caused me to speculate that Bishop Noel's past hesitancy to marry again stemmed from scripture references about divorce and when remarrying is permissible. This is especially true since his first wife is still alive. The Bible's teaching on divorce and remarriage are complex and have been interpreted in various ways throughout history. The Bible generally emphasizes the sanctity and permanence of marriage. Jesus in particular reiterated this principle, stating that what God has joined together, let no one separate. In the King James Version, the word asunder is used, Matthew 19:6. However, there are passages that indicate exceptions. Matthew 19:9 is often cited where Jesus allows for divorce in case of sexual immorality and adultery. 1 Corinthians 7:15 suggests that if an unbelieving spouse leaves a believing spouse, the believer is not bound. This is often interpreted as allowing for the possibility of divorce, and in some interpretations, remarriage. Some believe that remarriage is only permissible after a divorce based on biblical grounds, sexual immorality, or abandonment. Others hold that remarriage after any divorce is considered adultery. Also, the Apostle Paul in Romans 7 and 1 Corinthians 7 indicates that the death of a spouse frees the remaining spouse to remarry. It's crucial to acknowledge that there are diverse theological interpretations of these passages. Different Christian denominations and individual believers hold varying views on divorce and remarriage. In essence, the Bible presents a high view of marriage, but also acknowledges situations where divorce may be considered. The permissibility of remarriage is a point of ongoing discussion and interpretation. To sum it up, remarriage is only kosher if your spouse died, was unfaithful, or abandoned you. Back to 2025. Bishop Jones and Loretta will be celebrating 3 years of marriage in June. I wonder if either of them sings these lyrics. There ain't but one thing I done wrong. I stayed single much too long. Was it worth the wait? Only they can answer. Have you ever been in a long-term relationship engagement? Did or didn't it lead to marriage? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is your seasoned sis saying thank you for joining me. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Until next time, later girlies.